Hi everyone, it's Curls from Curls Cozy Gaming. Welcome back to another Mira Crown video for version 1.5. Compared to the previous Pinnacle Contests, this one is definitely more resource intensive, especially if you're not planning to pull on the current 5-star banners, Eternal Snow and Unfading Heart. The good news, you can absolutely get through it without pulling on either banner if you're not a fan of the suits. It'll just take a bit more effort, particularly in the later rounds. A quick heads up for free-to-play players or anyone with a limited gacha wardrobe, you need to invest heavily in all your flat nodes in the Heart of Infinity, ideally leveling them up to 10. This gameplay is based on my personal experience, so as always, I recommend checking the scoring tips for each round to make the most of your builds. So for this Pinnacle Contest, our effects is 15% to summer pieces and 50% to ballroom pieces. And for this one, I did try to go as free to play as much as possible. So I had to... Where is it? Okay, right here. So I had to buy out all the flat nodes for Heart Infinity. We'll take a look at that really quick. So this is what your Heart Infinity will look like now. You're gonna click on Wish Field. So if you're doing this for free to play, you will have to buy out all your nodes pretty much. All your flat nodes right here, and of course all of your percentage nodes. One right there, and this whole line here. So we are gonna start with round 1 as always and work our way up to round 8. For the first round, it is asking for fresh. So if you are a brand new player and you are free to play, I recommend getting Hometown Breeze. This is a sketch set that you can get from Kilo. It is one of the second sketches you can get from him. Another one is the Floral Memory. You get this from doing the storyline in Stoneville. This is the gliding outfit. And if you have been pulling on the permanent banner, you can get Forest Fluttering. This has helped me through a lot of my early styling challenges. For Rika's, you'll mostly start out with the Wind's Rhythm set. If you have pieces from the Rainbow set, this will be a better option since this is a 5-star. So it's always best to level those up first. But if you do not have the Rainbow set, then Wind's Rhyme will be the better option for an early round. In order to get a perfect clear, you need a total of 13,908. For round 2, it is asking for Cool. For a new free-to-play player, I recommend leveling up Rippling Serenity if you do not have Shark Mirage yet or pieces for it. Another option is Refine Grace. This is a sketch set that I believe you can get early on in the game. However, since this is a 3-star, it is more of a flex piece, so you will have to stack it up with 4 stars or 5 stars in order to get a higher score. The piece that I'm wearing that you can get for free is the Raging Bully. You can get the sketch from the first boss in the game. And another good piece to have is the Endless Hug. This is also another sketch piece that you can get from the Cage Greed boss. Both of these 5-star pieces are really good to have in your wardrobe because they really come in handy in a decent amount of challenges. If you do not have the Void Hunts like I do, these are like late game, the Mass Magic will work pretty well. This is what most players have been using before the Void Hunts were introduced in order to get through rounds. In order to get a perfect clear, you need a total of 32,000. This is a rough estimate. For round 3, it is asking for elegant. If you are a new free-to-play player, I highly recommend leveling up Winds of Purity. This has gotten me through a decent amount of my styling challenges. If you do not have Wishful Rosa yet, since this is an early round, Melted Snow will most likely work, but it's always good to level up your 5 stars first, which is the Ray Plume set. This is what you can get early on in the game. What I am using right now is Dream Waltz. This is a bit later on in the story. However, once you get there, it will recommend it for the head and feet, since these have better stats compared to the Ray Plume. But as you can see, I am still using the Ray Plume for the hands since it is a lot better than the Dream Waltz. Looking at my Rika score, I'm at 13,572. If I were to switch it to the Dream Waltz for the hands, it'll be 13,336, so there is about a 200 point difference. So that is why I'm still sticking with the Ray Plumes. In order to get a perfect clear, you need a total of 34,005. For round 4, it is asking for sexy and elegant. For this round, I am mostly using the Star Wish Echoes. This is a sketch set that you can get from Kilo. It is one of the last sketches you can get from him. However, it does cost a lot of dues in order to get the sketches at first, and then a lot of materials after that. So your best bet might be searching for Dreams. This is also another sketch set, even though it is a 3-star suit. You do have more flexibility with the accessories to stack more 4 stars or 5 stars with it. So that could be your Wishful Rosa accessories or your Winds of Purity. However, if you do not have access for either of those sexy suits, another option is going with Winds of Purity, but this is a big disclaimer for ignoring the sexy tag. I was able to test this out for last patch since someone asked about ignoring the sexy tag and just going full out on elegant. So the main component for this round is just to get the total perfect score. So you might have to completely glow up this outfit, since I do have this outfit completely glowed up. And you also have to consider what Rikas you'll be using. That could be the 4-star set or 5-star set for the main attribute for sexy in order to get some points into that category. You can also use Wishful Rosa for this round. You do have an extra slot with this suit in order to put in possibly a 5-star sexy piece or a 4-star or just another elegant piece. But you also have to have all your percent nodes unlocked, and you may have to put in some points into the flat nodes in order to ignore the sexy requirement. If you are a newer player, you will most likely be using the Heart Kiss Arika sets since its main attribute is sexy. But if you are a little more ahead in the game, Misty Waves works as well. I have these at level 10. In order to get a perfect clear, you need a total of 42,800. This is a rough estimate. For round 5, it is asking for sweet, elegant, and playful. However, in order to get the 3rd star, you have to have a complete glowed up sweet and playful outfit in order to get that perfect score. So for free to play, you will be using the Bye Bye Dust. This has a main attribute for sweet and a secondary tag for playful. This is what I used to pass this round since I did have some of these pieces already glowed up from a previous styling challenge. I decided to finish glowing this up instead of Timeless Melody. This one will work as well if you have it. I decided just to do Bye Bye Dust for myself. For my jacket, I am using Through the Storm. This is from the Rebirth Wish outfit. It is glowed up. You can get this outfit set from Kilo. It is one of the first sketches that you can get from him. It's pretty easy craft, so not too bad. However, if you have the Sub-Zero Elegance jacket from the Scam-O-Matic, this will work as well since this is a 5-star. For my handheld, I have Eternal Blossom. This is fully glowed up. I got this from completing the standard Mira Crown. You just have to get 1 star on the last round in order to clear it. As for my accessories besides Bye Bye Dust and the handheld, I do have a choker on from Timeless Melody, and I am using the armlets from Blooming Dreams Thorny Chain. So you can use 2 other accessories that can be like 5 stars or 4 stars in order to pass this round. Just depends on what level they are. For my Rikas, I am using Afterglow for the head and Afterglow for the feet. These are both level 10. They do have a main attribute for sweet. And then for my hands, the game has recommended me a Lullaby. This has a main attribute for sweet, but also a secondary tag for playful. In order to get a perfect clear, you need a total of 75,852. For round 6, it is asking for elegant, cool, and royal. But in order to get the 3rd star, you need to wear more than 2 royal pieces in order to get the perfect score. So if you were here for last patch, it was the last Mira Crown, we had a similar round that wanted elegant and royal for its tags. So I'm pretty much using the same outfit as I did in last patch. It's kind of a little different since my flat nodes have messed up my recommended. So I did try to put on what I could remember for it. So what I'm using mostly is Wishful of Rosa. I have this fully glowed up even though I'm not using all the pieces for this round. And for my dress, I am using Fluttering Wishes. This has a main attribute for elegant but a secondary tag for royal. This is also glowed up. For my jacket, I am using Size of Time. This is from the Endless Longing suit, but with the heartfelt gifts returning, you can use Pure Feathers. This has a main attribute for elegant, but if you do not have either of these, putting on the red checkered vest or the crisp design will work as well. You just most likely will have to glow them up. For accessories, I am using the Gala Crystal Headband. This has a main attribute for elegant and a secondary tag for royal, so this is my 2nd piece. And then for my 3rd piece, I am using the Budding Sprout. This has a main attribute for elegant and a secondary tag for royal. However, this is not leveled up. And lastly, I am using a handheld for Eternal Blossoms. This has a main attribute for elegant and it is fully glowed up. This is what you can get from the standard Mira Crown if you clear it with 1 star for the last round. Of course, everything else is Wishful Rosa, the earrings, choker, socks, and shoes. For my Rikas, you are gonna need Dream Waltz for the head and for the feet. For the hands, I am using the Ray Plumes. In order to get a perfect clear, you need a total of 88,458. For round 7, it is asking for fresh, sexy, and summer. In order to get the 3rd star, you need to wear a complete glowed up fresh outfit. So for this round, I did have quite a hard time passing it. And I did waste a lot of resources, but I do have 2 different options depending on which route you want to go. It just depends on your resources. So what I'm doing is using a flex piece. It's Departing Blossom. Since you have more slots to work with the accessories, and I did kind of like stack those with 4 stars and 5 stars, so it depends if you have these pieces or not. So for Departing Blossom, I have glowed up this entire outfit. However, the reason why I decided to test out this flex suit is because it has a secondary tag for summer, and right now the bonus effect is 15% to summer. My jacket is Emerald Fluttering. This is from the Forest Fluttering suit. It is fully glowed up. I am using Blossom Promenade. This is from the Blossoming Stars suit. It is a 5-star necklace that is fully glowed up. For my bracelet, I am also using a piece from Blossoming Stars. This is Distant Twinkle. It is glowed up. And for my last accessory, I am using the Sunburn Blockers. I believe this is a sketch that you can craft. Its main attribute is fresh, but it also has a secondary tag for summer, so you will get extra points for using this. And if you are still looking for other accessories to fill in the slots that are not the same as mine, there is also Shaky Branch. This is a 3-star item. Its main attribute is fresh and its secondary tag is summer. You will most likely will have to glow this up. And another item to consider is the Orange Sun. Its main attribute is fresh, but its secondary tag is summer as well. Same thing as the last recommendation. You most likely will have to glow this up. So let us get through this round and I can show you the other alternative. For the Rikas, you are gonna need the Misty Waves for the head and for the hands. For the feet, I am using the Moonlit Ode. All 3 of these Arikas are level 10, with the Misty Waves having the main attribute for sexy. Moonlit Ode has the main attribute for fresh, and it is giving me more points than if I just use the other Arika for Misty Waves. So my total score for Arika is 14,725. If I use Misty Waves instead, I have 14,664, so it's around a 100-point difference. So I am pretty much on the dot with this one. If you do decide to go with the flex route, So my total score came to 93,410. So if you do not want to use up a lot of blings in the flat notes, you can go with the Silver Gale Aria's Miracle Outfit route. This is what I did at first before investing into the flat notes. However, it really depends which route you want to go, because either way you're going to be using up resources. I believe going with the Silver Gale Aria's route will be less resource intensive, but that depends where you are in the game. So for my jacket, I'm still using the Forest Fluttering Vest. For accessories, I am using Petal Whisperer. This is from Departing Blossom, since it has that secondary tag for summer, and that is the only item I'm able to slot in with Silver Gale's Aria. And for my Rikas, I am just pretty much going to be using what I used previously, which is Misty Waves for the head, hands, and for the feet, I am using the Moonlit Ode. They're all level 10. And my score is going to go past the perfect threshold because I do have all my flat nodes maxed out now. And for our last round, round 8, it is asking for cool, sexy, and ballroom. In order to get the 3rd star, you need to wear a complete glowed up cool outfit in order to get that perfect score. So this is the round where I needed to have all the flat notes up to level 10 for each category, since I was not able to pass with the current cool outfit that I have on. So what I'm using is Moments Capture. It is fully glowed up. I've been using this suit quite a lot in a lot of my styling challenges. However, for free to play, you can go with Shark Mirage, Fiery Glow, and possibly Rippling Serenity or Fully Charged. However, I think Shark Mirage will be a better choice along with Fiery Glow depending on what you have. So the only item I'm able to slot in is the Endless Hug. This is a 5-star clothing piece that I have fully glowed up. You can get the sketch from the Cage Greedbird. For my Rikas, I am using the Void Hunt set, head, hands, and feet. They are all leveled up to level 10. You will definitely not be able to pass it with the Mass Magic, since I was barely not able to pass with what I had. Yeah, pretty much right on the dot, maybe a little over. So my total score is 86,575. I hope you're all enjoying the update so far. Personally, I can't wait to dive deeper now that I've wrapped up this Pinnacle Contest. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I post Let's Plays and content for other games like Love and Deep Space and Disney Dreamlight Valley. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!